Gashamaniacs.
GeoGearHeads.
Well, welcome to episode 159 of the GeoGearHeads. I'm the bad cop for our host, Daryl W4. And, you know, if you noticed, last week, I wasn't here. I had a little issue with my internet pipes. I think they were clogged. However, went and dumped Drano over everything I could find, and before you know it, here I am, back on the air. So, Daryl, it's so good to be back on GeoGearHeads. I felt like something was missing last week.
Something was missing, and you were definitely missed, trust me.
Well,
but,
thank you.
know, Drano over the router, I can't imagine as being a very good thing for the router.
Well, it didn't smell right when it hit the electricity, but, you know, everything is fine now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sure that little bit of chlorine gas didn't hurt anybody.
No.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
All right, well, with that, let's move on to our guests for the evening. We've got several of the folks from Munzee's headquarters at Team Munzee.
Number, if you want to be truthful.
Yeah. It keeps changing on us, so we don't really know how many people are crammed into their little studio over there. But let's start off with Rob. Welcome back, Rob. It's good to have you on the show again.
Daryl, Chris, thank you. I appreciate it. It's always good to hang out with you guys, and you know, we tried to pack this little room. We just thought it would be fun. You guys asked if anybody else might want to join in and do this from our actual podcast studio, so I threw the invite out, and these guys showed up. Who knows? Who knows? More people may come join the party. There's no telling.
So it's like the clown car, but a studio instead.
Mm-hmm.
It is exactly like that. It's even got the decorations on the wall for it, so that's good.
Well, you guys still have a lot more vertical space to work with. You may have used up the floor space, but there's still the vertical space you can work with.
Totally stack this place so
let's
that
just get bunk beds for it.
that's what we need to do, bunk beds, and
There
just
we go.
kind of sit on the edges and talk. So let me tell you who the guys are. We got Scott Foster, who's sitting here to my left, and I'll tell you before or as I go through these introductions, if you've seen our Tale of Trails video series on YouTube, you'll recognize all of these faces because they all did a fantastic job of acting / reading for Scott. So
More reading than acting.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He even had some trouble with the reading.
It is true. So Scott Foster, known as the co-founder from our Tale of Trails videos and all around the office. So Scott's with us. Dylan Derryberry sitting on this side. He is the master of media for Munzee, and so he was the one who wrote the script. He did all of it. He did all of the shooting, all the editing. He's the man.
There were times during that I wondered if I should be taking credit for any of this, if it was a good or a bad thing.
That's a really good point. I like that. Good.
Extremely happy to be here. Happy to talk about Munzee and everything that entails, which seems to keep growing more and more as the days pass by.
It's pretty awesome. So then we've got two guys sitting off camera. They will lean in, I'm sure, from time to time. And we've got half of TJ's face, I believe, in camera now. So we got TJ Algroski. He's here. He is our VP of Operations and so many other things. He basically is the driving force behind our Munzee Marketplace, which is where we are right now. So we'll tell you more about that as we talk. And he played the part of TJ on the Tale of Trails very, very amazingly well. And then we've got Matt. Matt just leaned into the shot. Matthew McCann. He is on our website listed as the intern, but far more than that. He does a lot of work for us on the marketing, and I don't even know, man. I can't even list all the things that he does for us. He builds walls, and him and Dylan. Yeah, he's
hanging security lines,
right.
Security systems,
crawling the air vent.
He's usually the behind-the-scenes guy because he's kind of quiet, which is why he sits over and runs the audio and runs the podcast for us and now for you guys. So once again, we appreciate you guys having us on, and hopefully we won't, between the three mics here, dominate all of the conversation for the entire evening. But
we're very soft.
That's what we do.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us. It's been a little while, so we figured we had to catch up with you. But before we go any further, I know that we have a bunch of people who want to know what the answer was to last week's question. And the question, for anyone who didn't know, is what is Munzee's zip code? So, Rob, what is your zip code?
75069.
All right, and only one person could be drawn as the winner for that gift certificate from GeoFleas. So, Rob, we told you who that was, and can you tell us or tell everyone who got that gift certificate?
The winner, thank goodness, there were plenty of people out there that tried. We got JR and Juju were the winners. So congratulations to them on those GeoFleas. I've seen them; they are actually really cool looking. So.
Oh, they are very cool. And one of the things that I've done with those is use them as replacements for missing tags, or because they're just nice and small. You can actually get them customized with the travel bug number. So that's really nice, like notebooks and smaller travel bugs. It really does work very nicely for those.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yeah, they're nice. They'll fit in a micro container. Probably not a nano, but you might be able to modify one. Make it round, slip it right in there. You never know.
Yeah, take the log roller, spin it into maybe. But for anyone who doesn't recognize GeoFleas, they were formerly known as Travel Fleas, and they've been rebranded with a whole new website and everything. GeoFleas, which is GeoFleaz.com if you want to check that out. And you can use the discount code GF01FS during January for free shipping on your order.
How cool is that?
That is so cool. I really like that. I might have to actually use that discount code.
I do have to say their new website looks really good. They put some effort into it. Really have done a good job on the rebranding. So thank you, GeoFleas.
Yeah, thank you very much, GeoFleas. And we'll have another gift certificate from them coming up. But right now, and it's not going to be for today, or for next week's show, we're back to a prize from coinsandpins.com for next week, but stay tuned and you can get that question. But right now, we want to learn more about the new home for Munzee, and hopefully most of the listeners know what this is about, kind of, but it's the Munzee Marketplace now. So what's this all about, guys?
What's it not about is a real question. We are based in McKinney, Texas, for those who don't know, and our office was 300 square feet in January.
Last January, one full year ago, almost to the date. Actually, I think it was the 16th that we moved into that office. So very small.
Yeah, and so around June they started hiring people, including myself, and before you know it, we had 7 or 8 people crammed in this little office, and we decided we needed something a little bit bigger. And with that came a interesting idea to open a convenience store, because why not?
Right. What technology company doesn't open a convenience store in the middle of a downtown square? I mean, it just makes sense.
But as somebody that grew up in McKinney and grew up around downtown McKinney, there was a need for some sort of grab-and-go convenience store. We had all been eating downtown every day, and it got expensive to eat out every day. So we thought, well, let's give this a shot. Hopefully it will sustain itself while Munzee continues to flourish. And what do you know? It's actually taken off to kind of be its own thing at this point.
Yeah, it's been really great. Like I was telling you, I mean, TJ he was the driving force behind the whole thing. He had 15 years with a big, huge chip manufacturer in the area that he worked with them, and so he's got the convenience store. Yeah, he's got the convenience store experience and grocery experience there. So it wasn't quite as crazy of an idea as it may seem. But yeah, we walked to lunch one day, saw the space that was for lease, pitched the idea to the building owner, who just happens to be a small town grocery store aficionado, and he loved the idea. And mid-August, we had a grand opening for the store and had players come from all around the world at the end of September to celebrate with us as part of our Oktoberfest celebration. So it's been a lot of fun, and since then, so many things have continued to change that, man, this home of ours continues to expand. We've got all of our offices are in this building, but they're upstairs. We expanded from 350 square feet office with 3 people in it that turned into 7 people in it by the time we moved out to now we have 3,000 square feet downstairs for our marketplace and the podcast studio and a player hangout, and then 2,000 square feet for offices upstairs.
Somehow we're still managing to run out of room again. So I'm sure there will be more growth.
We need to stop hiring people.
That's
how you solve that problem.
Maybe we should just start firing a few.
Yeah. No volunteers for that one.
That's
I have
right.
a feeling.
No.
So, well, you know, first hired, first fired.
First hired, first fired. Oh wait, no, that was me. So that's like the very first full-time person to come on board. So I like to count myself as first, no matter what you say, Scott. So yeah.
Actually, it wasn't even me.
Yeah, that's true. So it's been a fun journey for us, this marketplace. But Munzee itself has grown so much in the last year that we're really excited about, you know, where Munzee is headed as a whole, to the point that, you know, we put out a contest to help us come up with a 2015 theme, and on our video cast that we do, we like to have a little tally to see how many times we say it.
Just for good measure, Rob, and I'm sure you've had withdrawals. What was last year's theme?
Oh, last year's theme.
Do you remember it?
You know, I was going to say I'm not sure. It was
from
Expect the Unexpected. Was last year's theme.
And a lot of unexpected things happened,
we delivered,
including opening a marketplace. But this year, we decided to give our players the chance to contribute some ideas, and we ended up coming up and morphing one that fit us, and it's New Year, New Perspective.
New Year, New Perspective, because I like to say it.
And again, we have a counter on our podcast. We should probably make sure to add these tomorrow. The idea that Munzee is 3 years old, it's kind of set in its ways, and we want to shake some things up. You know, look at things differently. Some things that we've known about and been doing for years, switch things up.
Wait, are you getting rid of me?
Yes,
is that kind of what this is?
Out with the old, in with the
Everyone's
new.
kind of looking at me.
Second option.
Yeah, we were just staring at you. Sorry. We're ready to shake it up a little bit as we go through this year. So I don't know. I mean, if you guys are cool with us just telling you about this brand new thing that Scott's just dying to talk about, this adventure.
No, I don't think we should talk about that.
Well, I was going to say, I think we lost audio there from you guys for a little bit of that, but I think we got most of it. Before we go much further, though, Native Texan in the live Q&A says that the marketplace is very cool.
We appreciate that, Native Texan. That's Denise out there. Yeah.
We have a virtual tour.
Oh, we do. We do have a.
That's right.
I get the direct link of it.
Go to Google Maps and type in Munzee
Marketplace.
Marketplace.
You can get a 360 tour of the whole thing, a virtual tour. Click around, see all the stuff we sell.
Nice job, Scott. Way to
There you
go. Scott's the tech guy, in case you missed that. So good job. That's cool. That is true. So check out the store.
So you can visit us virtually.
Yeah. And Denise has come by. She's, I don't know, I think we've seen her 2 or 3 times now. She saw us before when we were back in the little shoebox office, and now as we've continued to take off. So Denise, next time you come by, there's no telling how things are gonna have grown. So.
Well, her next comment in the live Q&A is Eventsy with 4 question marks.
Hey, Scott, does that sound familiar?
Sounds yes.
He's like, we have talked about Eventsy and told people about Eventsy for somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 months. I have emails dating back to June with Scott saying, "Hey, can we stop looking at this and do something else?" And it was like, "Nope, this is what we're gonna do."
Well, we talked about events with Munzee since really the beginning.
It's true. We've always done small private events, but they've always been tied into Munzee and very difficult to separate the pins on the map and to make it where people could interact only with the things that the event host wanted them to interact with. So, welcome Eventsy, our standalone private small scavenger hunt app. So Scott, kick it off. Tell us some of the features of it, because we talked about this at dinner a little bit ago.
Yeah, so it's an iPhone. There'll be an iPhone version, an Android version, so people will be able to create their own events. There'll be either a QR code-based event where you could send people around to scan QR codes, or, and we've done this past kind of few days, is a photo scavenger hunt. So the admin will be able to create their own event, have players join, and go from there.
Yeah, it really kind of has grown into something that started as a need in Munzee into this whole new idea to approach different markets and reach out and in turn grow Munzee itself. The photo scavenger hunts have been kind of, I mean, it's not like they're more fun than QR codes, but it's a new thing. We've been having a lot of fun with those recently. We've been toying with this idea of kind of worldwide photo scavenger hunts. And I know one of our team members, Daniel Hammock, has run a few of them, and people from around the world are, taking pictures of whatever clue he puts out there, which are sometimes kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, like Chinese takeout menu, fortune cookie, take a picture of a cop holding a Munzee, and we get lots of submissions. We got at least 12 submissions with cops holding Munzees, and I mean that's awesome.
Oh
12.
Yeah, it takes this to a different place. I think it excites people, and it's been a lot of fun just kind of knocking it out of the park, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I see that Joseph asked the question, and you've got us as currently answering. I hope it's not Eventsy. We've known about that for a while, and so we do appreciate, Joseph, that you have acknowledged. Yes, we have all known about it for a while, but we've been beta testing for
we have about
3 days, and
about 350 beta testers.
Right, things have gone so well that that we are looking at a very soon release to the store.
Please don't give a date.
No, to the App Store. I told these guys the date, and so we do have a date, but we won't announce that as a first-time thing here with you guys. We do have something, Joseph, stick around until the end, because we do have something that's going to be brand new to tell you about. So Eventsy is not brand new as far as talking about it, but it is so close. So stick around, be ready.
We're pushing out multiple betas a day. Michael has been working really hard on the Android version. Felix has been working really hard on the iOS version, and pushing many builds. The admin side, I mean, just getting feedback. I mean, we literally read every single feedback from users. We respond to a lot of them, if not all of them. I know Michael does a really good job, and people have lots of suggestions, and some of them are good for 1.1, 1.2, 2.0 Eventsy, but we just want to get something out there, like Rob said, relatively soon, and then go from there.
Yeah, it looks like you guys have another question for us.
Yeah, we do. From Limax, he wanted to know how it's different from cider.
Well, that's very interesting that you should ask that, sir. We appreciate that question, and did not even plan it, so that's good. This is different from cider because the pictures themselves are not attached to a geolocation, so there's no confirmation about that. This is seriously taking the old pencil and paper scavenger hunt and tossing it out the window and turning it into technology-based completely. So what you have the ability to do is, instead of going out and taking pictures with your phone and then reporting back to the location at the end and saying, hey, here's all my pictures, and they say, wait, you missed like 3 of them, these are stupid, that's not what I asked you to do. We confirm or deny that a picture at the time that you're taking it and submitting it to us, and then we can provide feedback to you and say, hey, you missed that because it says you're supposed to find an old car, and you took a picture of an old truck. So clearly those are not the same things.
Well, and I think that while we have been having fun with these worldwide photo scavenger hunts these past few days, the big focus with Eventsy is private events or smaller events that normally people tried to use in Munzee, but would get so cluttered with the rest of the Munzee game that it was tough to control. So this is, corporate training, trade shows, even if you have a group of 20 people that you want to just have a fun scavenger hunt for your birthday, this is the app you will use.
Right, and even the QR codes aren't even tied to geolocation.
Oh, I don't know that that's true. We shouldn't tell everyone that. No,
and this is why the app hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The QR code side of it is going to be different, and it's going to be used for some of the things that we've used it for in the past 3 years, which are things like trade shows and corporate trainings and things like that, where they want to tie a QR code that has a question answer that pops up, things like that. Our players aren't going to use Eventsy with QR codes because they would be disappointed as far as the points go.
Right.
Because they would be definitely limited in points. Now, the players, as they continue, and if they choose to switch over to an Eventsy photo scavenger hunt for their event, then that'll be for the purposes of fun. I mean, the people who are beta testing for us have said, just how much fun they have. But I want to tell you a little bit more about why this is different than Cider. And it is all because it's that standalone deal. But here's the good news. The fact that we're able to do this in Eventsy means that we're kind of testing something that could be coming in the future for the Munzee app. And as we do that in the Munzee app, then you'd have the ability to add pictures to a Munzee that you visit. If you visit it, you enjoy it, you take a picture, and it's like, hey, this is what it looks like today. You've got it on a scenic overlook or things like that. So if we're able to do that and add it into our the log that you create, the journal entry there, then that means that yes, we would eventually have the ability to tie a picture to a geolocation and confirm that yes, you are in the correct location, that you are taking that picture. So, are we different? Yeah, right now, Eventsy is completely different, but is Munzee in the future possibly going to include something like that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Sounds like a yes, though. So, I don't know if you guys have. Seems like there may be a few other questions, or we can keep talking.
Yeah, we are also.
Well, I was going to say that we probably should talk about some of the new stuff that, or some of the, not new stuff, but some of the stuff that was new last year. Like I know one of the things that I got in was that Ice Bucket Challenge and all those other special fundraising things that you had done.
You know what? That's a great little segue into probably what would have been either second or third on our list to talk about, which is something that's coming real soon for our players as well. But I'm not even sure that everyone in this room knows about it, so that's the fun part. But yeah, we did several last year. We did several charity fundraising events, I suppose, with special icons that we launched on the map, and that all started in November. Actually, November of 2000, whatever year that was, 13. We did our very first fundraiser with the Jimmy V Foundation. We sold little virtual pins for $1, and across the time of the month of November, we raised $12,000, and we're very excited about that and able to make that donation to the Jimmy V Foundation. Then last year, we added on several other charity pieces that we did, and the final one that you're talking about with the ALS Foundation, we donated to Project ALS a total of $55,000 that was raised, through the players and all of their contributions, because the community, the Munzee community, is very giving. They get on board and they really support initiatives like that. Earlier in the month, we'd done Ronald McDonald House, or earlier in the year, back in April, seems like. We raised $25,000 for the Ronald McDonald House of Spokane. I think we talked about that one in the past, but specifically it was the Project ALS that really made for a good time. So what we've got coming up soon, we're not going to roll out all the details here because this isn't the brand new piece of information and the announcement that we posted on our Facebook feed and everywhere else. But a little bit of information about it is that February is the love month. I think that's a good way to put it. And I think we're gonna show some love to a group out there and kind of get on board with a special charity celebration. So everybody can kind of be ready for that. It's going to kick off at the very beginning of the month, and we'll have more information, I guess, coming up about that.
I'm sure you can pull some ideas out of your head as to what special icon could be out there during this month of love. Again, more news will come on our end about that soon. But I think that we all come from various backgrounds, and none of us or I mean Scott kind of, but none of us really had a tech background, so we jumped into this, wanting to do something for ourselves, but when it became successful, we decided we wanted to do something for other people, for our players, for people that couldn't really help themselves, and that's where Munzee can bring in a lot of money for charities. And I think it says a lot that every charity fundraiser we've done has continued to get bigger and bigger each time. So our players cared a lot about this, and I think they continue to show how great of a community we really have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we did talk about the Ronald McDonald House last time you guys were on, and that is a really great way to give back. And it always impresses me how much money you guys have been able to raise with those, fleeting Munzees, and it kind of does give a timeliness to the game that might not otherwise be there.
Right. It adds a sense of urgency for the players to get out there and to play. And so we try and time those things wisely so that the weather is not terrible, and February is not exactly the nicest time, like in the northern parts of the northern hemisphere. But exactly where you're both waving, you're both from there, exactly. So we've got players scattered across Finland, Norway, everywhere over in Europe, the northern parts, and they send us pictures of playing in the snow. And the clan requirements are too hard because don't you realize it's icy and snowy? And what they don't know this month is that the player who wrote the team member who chose our clan requirements just happens to be from Germany, and it's snowy there as well. So if he can do it, then everybody can do it.
You get people from Australia that send us pictures of
they're in
days.
Right. They're in shorts and t-shirts and sandals,
laughing at us. So.
Oh man, I can't. That's pretty cool. So, one of the things that we just talked about on our video cast this past Friday was a little announcement that I'm actually headed down to Australia this coming Thursday, so a week from today. Headed down there for an extended weekend is basically all it is. So.
Rob's excited to get back into sports.
That's right.
That's right.
So they've got a big event going on for Australia Day, which is Monday the 26th of January. And so they have a lot of players coming together and have asked for a long time for somebody from Team Munzee to show up and show some love to the Southern Hemisphere and to the.
And Rob chose himself.
I know, imagine that, right?
It was a tough. But,
that's got to be a really tough assignment, Rob.
Yeah.
Rob's like, I have to send someone to Australia. Who should I send?
Oh, it's
me.
Yeah.
And then the noble president.
That's right.
Exactly.
So we, nobody else was interested in taking a 16-hour direct flight from Dallas to Sydney.
We may have until we heard your itinerary.
Right. Flying out on a Thursday evening and coming back on a Tuesday afternoon. So that's a pretty quick turnaround. But really looking forward to hanging out with those players down there and getting to meet some of our amazing players who support things that happen all around the world. They play this game that's based in little old McKinney, Texas, with 110,000 people population, and us based on the square with we've got 8 employees upstairs. And
wait, there's more Munzee players than there are people living in McKinney?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
That's awesome.
It's true. We just passed our 200,000 player mark earlier this week, so that was something that's been exciting for us to see. The growth is great, and so I try to make it out to events. That was something that I set early last year. Made it to an event every month, and that's the goal for this year too. I'm taking some of the guys to an event in Yuma, Arizona.
Yep.
It's actually a mega event for another of our games, the geolocations. So geocaching's got a mega event there, and I'm looking forward to meeting up with our players and hanging out with them, and also with some of the others as well.
Excellent. Yeah, the events are definitely very cool. Stepping back a bit, though, Native Texan said that the pics in the Munzee app would be great, but also wanted to know, Rob, is that a unicorn on your computer?
Is that a unicorn on my computer? Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that fact. So yeah, I've got actually it's I don't know how. Yeah, that's probably right angle. So we actually have quite a few important stickers on here. The unicorn is sort of the unofficial mascot of Munzee. It's really kind of like the unofficial mascot of one of our Facebook groups called Munzee Madness. But if you go in there, you might find out crazy things about unicorns.
Right,
Yeah.
you opened up a can now.
I said it's unofficial, so it's all good. So we have the Munzee logo on one corner, and these stickers were like Peter, our designer, our app and UI and UX designer, kind of came up with these. So I've got that, but I've got a Munzee Marketplace sticker at the bottom, and then Peter's dog. He gave me a sticker of his dog as well. So I've got a couple of animals and various other things.
I just have a Munzee pin and then deploy.
Yeah, Scott's got his
nerdy one,
techie stuff.
Huh? That's right.
They are not giving us any
I
funds
give
for
them money.
saying
That's
that.
weird that they have.
So yeah, that is. Thanks for mentioning that, Denise. Nice job. Got me in trouble. But what are you gonna do?
All right, Chris, we have a bunch of items here in the live Q&A. Did you want to pick one or two to talk
Sure.
about?
Let's start with Wet Coaster. He said, what would you say to a former player who stopped playing for over a year to get them to come back to the game?
I would actually ask them first, have you even opened the app to look at what's going on in the game these days? Because I bet if you played more than a year ago, you opened it up, you would see that at least something is going on in the map around you. Beyond that, I would encourage them just to open it up, to look, to follow us on Facebook and find out about some of the things that we're doing, because we constantly tweak this game and we encourage change, which is kind of weird.
I'd tell them to listen to this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well, I think that also answers another question. We have another one from Joseph. How is Munzee, or rather, what is Munzee doing to keep new players interested in the game? Obviously, players starting today will probably never see the top spot. Eventually, people could or will find playing the game fruitless. Do you agree?
Wow.
I mean, again,
Dylan, you're a new player.
Well, I'm also a new player who works.
Well, you know,
So
but
that certainly helped me rise up the ranks. But I'm level 102. I've been working and playing since June, and
yeah.
I mean, it's a lot easier to rise in the ranks than you would think. But the biggest thing for us is, and pretty much what we all do on a daily basis, is keep it fresh. Come up with new icons, special icons. Come up with new badges.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're coming out with a new app. We're always trying to keep our game growing and moving forward because we don't want to get bored. The minute I come to work and twiddle my thumbs and don't know what I'm going to do with myself is when I know our company's in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. The minute that happens, it means that right. The minute that happens,
but I mean, look at.
I stayed in Australia or something like that forever, that sort of thing. So we constantly keep this game changing, and if there are players who are looking to make it to #1 on the leaderboard, I wouldn't necessarily laugh and say good luck with that, but I would say that it's going to take a lot of work. Is it possible? Absolutely, because the people who've made it to #1 right now said, hey, guess what? I'm going to make it to #1. I know because I've talked with most of them that's what they did. They just set a goal, and I mean it makes Munzee your life, just so you know. So you got to have a whole. But I wouldn't discourage that. But at the same time, if that's your goal, you're probably going to get a little bit frustrated because players who are there, they're going to fight to stay at the top. They want to be in the top 100. It's difficult for me to stay in the top 100, and I'm kind of keen on that. So we've got so many other things for people to do to play.
There's a million ways to play.
The badges. I mean, you have like the Air Munzee one where it's deploy and capture 23 in one day. The Pi badge where get exactly 314 points. All the social ones, all the rover badges. I mean, you can make Munzee kind of your own thing.
I mean, if you do get dedicated enough to it, clan wars are a huge part of our
clan.
game.
I didn't think about that.
The leaderboard is an important part of the game, but it is just one aspect. And again, there's a million ways to play, and you decide which way you want to.
And you get badges, if you're #1 for a day. I mean, or
just one day. That's all you need.
#1, #2, #7, and #13. So.
First loser badge.
First loser badge. Stuff for that, but if there's different ways to play, there's stuff for that too. So
absolutely, it's really fun to have different options, so that you don't have to play for any specific thing. You can choose the way that you play.
Right.
Like
exactly. I mean, that's what made Munzee great. Is that there's people that just do social Munzees all day. I mean, they have 5 points but have 6,000 captures because they just capture social all day and do these online puzzles and online crazy things to get these badges for these social stuff.
It's the equivalent of spending a lot of time to put together a very intricate puzzle cache, that sort of thing, a mystery type deal. And so players do that. They put together a social that you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to earn it, and they post that on the Facebook groups, and then people will spend days and weeks trying to make those things happen. They have a palindrome. Everyone is dying to get a palindrome badge, and so since we've not created a palindrome badge, and some players have taken it on themselves to make a palindrome social Munzee. So if you post a screenshot of your score as a palindrome, 77377, then you can scan this special palindrome social. It's an achievement social. I love it. I love what the players do. We don't have to be the creative ones. We get to kind of lead the way, and we take some suggestions and run with them. But players do a lot of it.
And then there's Facebook groups for social.
Scott, we're having some trouble hearing you.
Oh, Scott likes to not eat the microphone when he talks.
Okay.
So, sometimes that happens. Sorry. He's leaning sideways. There you go.
Try to talk more into it.
So he's saying that we have different types of Facebook groups, and people really set them up and just kind of enjoy doing things their way. It's just a lot of fun to watch and grow.
Well, Wet Coaster had said that if you want to move up in the ranks, get more local players around you, also join a clan. One of the more interesting ones, though, came from David in the live Q&A, who said, "That was me. I started Munzee on day 21 and got bored. I started back about a year ago, and it's a world of difference. Totally hooked now and looking forward to what the future holds."
That means a lot. It really does.
I remember when we first started Munzee, we get negative app reviews because there weren't Munzees around them. We said, "Why don't you deploy Munzees?" and then never hear from them. So
Right.
Now you can't really make that excuse anymore that there's no Munzees around you, because I probably guarantee that there are.
Yeah, it depends on where you live. But if you live in a underpopulated Munzee region, then you go out there, you spread the word, you make it fun. When you do it, don't stick them on every light pole and every stop sign, okay? Because that doesn't help anyone think this is fun. That is a great way to get a lot of points. But if you want people to enjoy it, then place them where you would enjoy it. That's probably some of the some advice that I would give a new player in a new region. Put them where.
Well, it sounds like that's kind of the issue that Limax had, because he said that he dabbled in Munzee, but hadn't found that he stuck with it for very long. Once in a while, he pulls out the app just to see how many Munzees are within a 10-foot area, and he says that's not a joke.
Right, and I don't know where he's from, but there are a couple of places that I could probably guess, because we have some, we'll call them I don't know, excited players, zealous.
You mean Germans?
No. I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about just in general. We've got some players that are hardcore. You know what I mean? They will go and they will find a spot and they will cover that parking lot with everything that they can. And before the game, before we added in a limit to the number of Munzees that you could either have in your undeployed list, or we put in a proximity rule where you had to deploy them 50 feet apart from each other. And there were signs and trail posts that had anywhere from 1 to 27 Munzees on the same post. And that was legal back in the beginning. There was no rule that said, hey, you can't do that, because Scott and the guys, they didn't think of that, and it was the creative players, imagine that, who came up with this, and I actually went to California, saw it, brought that idea back here, took Scott and 2 other guys out in a parking lot one evening, and showed them what I called the California way, and oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. I can't believe that anyone would think this is fun. And it was about 2 days later that was squashed, and they added a new rule. I begged, no, please don't do it.
The proximity rule.
Without that rule, we would not be where we are today. It, looking back, was an absolute fantastic move. Way to go, Scott. You did not listen to me at all. And back then,
normal.
No, that is normal. I didn't present my case quite enough, but it. So
you were my boss back then.
For him, that I would say, yeah, that's right. For him, I would say, to yes, you can find the negative, and you can literally find places where there are Munzees every 50 feet. But when you're out in some great, beautiful spot, open up the app, see if you can find things that are there. I don't know how close we're getting to the end, but man, I got something that I know that he's gonna. We're launching. So, I carry on. But you stay tuned. You stay tuned because this is for you. What's coming up?
All right. Well, we are getting a little bit long, but we do have a couple more questions. Well, actually, a comment here is kind of interesting. Nathan says, best Munzee he found was inside a freezer at Walmart.
Okay, here's my hope on that one. Well, the hope would be that it's one of the many that we have taken from an actual physical product and tied into our game. That would be my hope, Nathan. So please say that that's true, because if some player actually put a Munzee inside a freezer at Walmart, please report that to support@munzee.com.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like a very good way to play.
While that is really cool, literally. Oh, that is definitely not part of the code of conduct.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine getting permission to put it in the freezer at Walmart.
Right, because code of conduct say that you have to have permission to put things on private property. I should say that.
Yeah, and when I'm thinking that the signal strength in there probably isn't going to be all that good either.
No.
Right.
If anybody out there is, you're new to the game, you're hearing about this for the first time, you want to find out what this is all about. Here's a fun thing that you can do. The next time you're at, at McDonald's, and you see one of the bags and it's got a QR code on it, use the Munzee app, scan it, see what happens. You never know. You got a Heinz 57 ketchup bottle. These people did not pay us for sponsorship, by the way. These are just mentions because this is how it goes in our game. Heinz 57 ketchup bottle, just a regular one. Scan it with the Munzee app, see what happens. So there's probably close to 100 different codes that are out there in the real world. Some that are region specific and others that are worldwide. Try them, see what happens.
Some on.
We have one question from Darren, who's gotten the most favorites on this live Q&A. He said, or he asks, will the app get the filter function to show motel and hotel circles to help deploy?
Darren, why you gotta be so mean, man? What's up with that? Questions that all the people want to hear the answer to. I like that. Well, Darren, good news. We're working on it. And is it something that is coming like tomorrow? No. Is it something that is on the list of, boy, we should make that happen because everyone wants to see it? Yeah, yes. It definitely is. It would actually be something that's helpful with a new something that's headed out real soon. So anyway, yeah, it is. So this seriously is something that's on the list, and believe me, we know. We have an email for suggestions that people can send things to. You can find that on our website, munzee.com/contact. And send in all of your suggestions, and I'll add that to the other 400 that want proximity circles for hotels and motels.
All right. Well, I think we are running a little long. We should probably mention, though, that the podcast, which I think had launched just after the last time you guys were on, it has now gone to a video cast.
Yes, you can see our beautiful faces every Friday at 3 p.m. and on our connected to our Google Plus account. We're kind of new at it, so we're always this is actually working well. But we're gonna weekly we talk about all things Munzee and try not to get too off task, but we have a lot of fun with it, and it's interactive like this, so you guys can come and chat with us and listen to what we have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to have that happen.
3 p.m.
Central Standard Time, what we call MHQ time, but yes, it's Central Standard Time.
Because it's all about the Munzees.
You guessed it. That's exactly right. And guess what? The next time that everyone tunes in, which is 24 hours from now, if you're watching live, not 24 hours, but sorry, less than that. Anyway, we are going to be using lower thirds because we've seen it and they're fantastic.
It's so cool.
Yeah, we're going to have fancy names now. That's right.
Well, yeah. So I know we're running out of time, but do we want to make our announcement?
Can we do that? You guys have anything else that you might want to talk about before or anything?
Rob, you've teased us long enough about this big announcement. I think you need to tell us what it is.
Well, all the players are used to that.
Yeah.
They know that that's how it works. Everything is coming soon. Everything's in the next 1,000 hours or not 1,000 hours, that sort of thing. So what we started talking about a month ago was the Trail Munzee. And I actually previewed it and demoed it in Florida with a group that more than 50 people showed up, and we all had a great time with it. So we are pleased to announce that right now Scott's about to push the button on the I've got my other what was Rob cam is now the Scott the co-founder cam, and so he is in the process of pushing the button to launch the Trail Munzee. And the way that this is going to be done is this is actually going to be in the store. Now don't flip over there yet. You're still watching us live. Don't flip over there yet. Yeah, so hold on. But this is going to be credits that you can add to a Munzee that's either already deployed or one that you have not deployed. So it has to have 0 captures on it. We actually went out and filmed a video because the weather was nice today. We filmed the video today. So we're going to be launching this officially tomorrow via our video cast. But here at the GeoGearHeads, we like to do things specifically with you guys. So we're going to give anyone who's watching and listening along right now the opportunity to get a preview on that. The price for these Trail Munzees is actually going to be $5, but because these people are tuned in and listening with you guys, we're going to drop that price a 40% discount. 40. $3 for this trail pack. And so here's who the trail pack is aimed at in the Trail Munzee. This is going to be a good one because the guy asked 2 questions, and I can't remember his name. Can you guys remind me of his name?
That was probably Limax, I think, talking about the saturation, or was it maybe Wet Coaster?
Well, it may have been both, but I'm pretty sure it was Limax. You know, with the hey, there's Munzees everywhere.
Every 10 feet, right?
The points are cool and all, but I want to do something fun. I want to have an adventure. Well, the Trail Munzee is the answer to your adventure. This is the Munzee to get you out there, off the beaten path, and having a little bit of adventure. Because what you have to do on this one is you have to deploy 5, and it has to be a completed trail, and each of those 5 have to be at least 1,000 feet apart from each other. And they are going to stay within a 5-mile radius. So if you want to take, friends or other players on a tour of your favorite spots in your town, then you can do that. You can start a trail with 1, and then you go and put out 4 other stops, and you get progressively more points as you go. And you cap this, and also the owners of the Munzee, the cap on points, which is what we call them, our residual points. They really start to rack up. By putting together a trail. And what we want you to do is put together a good trail that people enjoy. And so the video that we created today, Dylan, was interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Rob has been doing geolocational games for a while, so he knows what he's talking about. But I actually got to see him kind of in action today as I'm filming him crawling through bushes and climbing up trees to hang these new Trail Munzees. One of the coolest things about the Trail Munzee is that on your Munzee app, when you look for them, you only see the first one, and in order to get the rest of the 4, you have to cap them in order, and they reveal themselves to you. So it is, it's a trail, but it's an adventure. It's, moving on and, seeing what was in this guy's mind. He's a little nutty. But the process he went through on, it'll be really good to hang it here, but I better hide it a little bit more. I really want people to have to look for this one. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and people are either going to love or hate Rob afterwards, depending on if they fall out of the tree or not.
So tell him, Scott, what's already happened with my trail. We put the trail out, it was 5 hours ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's when we put it out.
Bob D, a local player, and his
No,
wife.
we didn't.
Bob D and Beulah.
That tree one, which I haven't seen, but he went up there, and he's... How old is Bob D?
Let's say he's older than 60.
I don't know how old Bob D is. He's on the older side.
Older than 60 is how old he is.
60.
There you have it. So no guess there, but he scampered up that tree. It's at least 10 feet up a tree, and it's a leaning tree, so it's safe. But this is the opportunity for people who don't like every light post, every sign, every parking lot. This is your opportunity to show your friends and to show people in your area that this game is a whole lot more than that. And you know what that's part of? That's part of the new year and the new perspective. You knew that was coming.
And yeah, people have been asking us for so long. I want people to hide a Munzee, hide it from the map until I capture one. And this is exactly what it's for. Something where you have to capture one in order to see the next one or see the next one. You get all 5, you get how many points?
It's a total of 60 points
60
across a 5 Munzee trail.
So,
Starts at 5, so you do have to it encourages you to complete it.
Right, exactly.
They pop up as you go. So we appreciate you guys having us on, because this helps us spread the word about Munzee, because we know that you have a lot of listeners and followers. And I've been on here twice, and I really enjoy it, and really appreciate I guess sort of a mentorship that you guys have had with us for some of our fumbling around through our podcast, and as we watch and work with you and see what you do, then we learn new things. So it's always a pleasure to be on here, but also to talk about brand new things and to launch them for your audience.
So should I launch it? Should I hit the magical button?
Hit the button, Scott. Do it. Make it happen.
And done.
There it is.
So
no countdown. It's just live now. I was expecting the ball drop. We started at 10, but no.
No, we don't do that. We're all in. That's it. There is no here in between.
It is live.
It's on or it's off.
Very cool. I'm anxious to get these and see if I can do a little story trail kind of thing. That would be, I think, a lot of fun.
There you go.
Even write down your various parts to the story.
Right,
absolutely.
And you'll name them because each one will automatically have 1/5, 2/5. So you'll kind of see how you progress.
And we've got players who've come up with some really cool ideas and emailed them to me over the last year, and so they've been a pretty big inspiration for making this happen. We're going to create sort of a Bonnie and Clyde trail because we just happen to have a Bonnie and Clyde tie-in with our building. And so if you ever have a chance to make it to downtown McKinney, we would love for you to come see us at the Munzee Marketplace, and we'd love for you to come just spend some time with us. We'll bring you behind the wall to the behind-the-scenes tour. How about that? And fill you in a little bit on our Bonnie and Clyde history, and really just hopefully make you feel at home. That's what we're all about here. And once again, we appreciate the time that you guys have given us to talk about the thing that we all love most, Munzee.
Well, thanks for joining us. And in case people need to find out more about Munzee and don't know how, what are the best ways for them to do that?
They should email Matt. No, not really. That would Matt's the quiet. He's sitting over there enjoying all of this though. Munzee.com is always a good way to do that. We're reworking a whole lot of things, and that is one of the things. But I might even suggest that people go to social media, go to Facebook.
That's where you're going to find all of our updates.
Right. If you're on Facebook, then look for some of the Munzee groups and check to see, what sort of what sort of things are out there. So Scott's actually showing me that we've already got an order that's come through for the trail Munzee. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add some extras to the guys that as of like this very moment, the 2 orders that have come through. We'll throw some extra trail Munzees in your deal just for being here on the GeoGearHeads podcast and for joining us and for showing that support immediately. We love those players.
Wow, and I couldn't even get in on that because I'm doing this recording right now.
I thought the same thing. I was like, I could go order. No, I can't afford the bandwidth while we're recording.
I think as username, so you never know what you might find in your accounts too.
Ooh, very cool. All right, well, thank you again for joining us. It's been a pleasure getting caught up, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Trail Munzees are going to do to reinvigorate the game around me.
I certainly hope that it does the intended intention. The goal there is to provide something new, something different. Give all those people who played 2 years ago. Give the people who, oh no, that's a stupid game. It's on every light pole. Give those people something new to look at. It's a new perspective, and that's what this game piece is for. So do it right, people. Oh, sorry.
All right. Well, everyone who's a regular GeoGearhead I know is looking forward to our question of the show, so get your emails ready for that chance at a prize from coinsandpins.com. It's going to be to geogearheads@cashmaniacs.com, and make sure you title that email question 160. That's 160. In the email, include your geocaching.com screen name and the current version number of GStack. You have until 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on January 21st to get that right answer to geogearheads@cashmaniacs.com with the title question 160 to be entered into the drawing. And, if you'd like to order anything from coinsandpins.com, you can use that coupon code GeoGearHeads. No, sorry, just GearHeads, no Geo, for 10% off your order.
Now, I tell you nearly every week what an incredible job Daryl does to schedule these shows. And to give you proof, here's some upcoming shows. January 22nd, we're talking, that's just next week, by the way, we're talking GSAC. January 29th, MOGA 2015. February 5th is going to be our 31st randomized episode, and those are a lot of fun. You're going to want to listen live because there's extra prizes to be won. February 12th, we're talking about ciphers. And February 19th, we're doing puzzle Q&A. This is going to be an exciting show. You want to be part of that as well.
Check the Cashmaniacs website at cashmaniacs.com for more on the GeoGearHeads, including show notes for this and all of our episodes. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us feedback by calling 206-350-3647, by emailing geogearheads@cashmaniacs.com, or through social media. Your support helps keep the Cashmaniacs shows coming. Please consider becoming a patron through the link on our website to support the Cashmaniacs shows. GeoGearHeads is produced by Chris Hoffenauer and Daryl Wanberg. The show is copyright 2015 by Daryl Wanberg. All rights reserved.
Cash with a Cashmaniacs.